From the earliest days of her youth, Samantha Smith viewed the world as a canvas, waiting to be touched by imagination. She played with color and cloth not to imitate, but to invent herself in shades of joy and defiance. Even as a child, she understood that the truest beauty blooms not from imitation, but from the courage to stand unapologetically alone. Her path, however, was not always luminous. It was carved through doubt, judgment, and expectation. Society whispered that worth was measured in symmetry, and she learned to silence those voices not with rage, but with radiant resilience. Each moment of rejection became her raw material, transforming her pain into the very art that would one day crown her success. When Samantha began to emerge in fashion's glossy corridors, she was not simply seen, she was felt. Every photograph became a pulse, every pose a challenge to traditions that forgot how to celebrate difference. She stepped before the camera not as a model, but as a revolution wearing heels and a heartbeat. Through the lens, she turned vulnerability into vision. The softness once deemed her flaw became her most formidable strength, shaping a narrative of inclusion that demanded to be heard. Her campaigns became visual symphonies of courage, reminding the industry that representation is not charity, it is truth finally catching up to reality. Away from the spotlight, Samantha Smith remains a voice of healing and humanity. She walks into schools, organizations, and creative spaces with a mission to remind others that beauty is not a prize, it is a presence. Her advocacy does not preach, it uplifts, teaching that the mirror should be a friend, not a battlefield. Her impact reverberates beyond photo shoots and magazine spreads, influencing the very architecture of modern fashion. She calls for sustainable diversity, demanding that inclusion be built into the blueprints of every creative process. To her, equality is not a passing trend. It is the foundation upon which real artistry must rise. What makes Samantha unforgettable is not only her success, but the serenity with which she carries it. She moves with humility, knowing that power is not proven by dominance, but by the ability to elevate others. Each collaboration she undertakes becomes a bridge for emerging talent, a promise that legacy means nothing if it doesn't light the way for others. Today, Samantha Smith stands not just as an icon, but as an embodiment of evolution itself. Her journey is proof that tenderness can be invincible and that authenticity will always outshine imitation. In her reflection, every woman finds permission to rise, to unfold, and to bloom, because through her story, grace has learned how to fly.